Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to PlateUp, Learning the Basics Food Card Tutorial. In this episode, we're going to be talking about hot dogs. I'll give you a couple tips and tricks about hot dogs, but hot dogs are one of the easiest dishes, one of the fastest dishes to prepare. When you get the main hot dog card, it says add hot dogs as a main, but you also get ketchup as it's somewhat as a side dish, but it's almost an as requested side dish, because when you place the hot dog plate on a table, they will request the ketchup if they want it after placing it, not before. So you cannot have a ketchup bottle on the table prior to serving the hot dog on a plate, because you will not be able to put it down unless you have more than one table joined together and you are able to withdraw the ketchup after each time and reapply it, because you can't leave it on the table the entire time. It's just the mechanic doesn't work that way. But basically, you have a hot dog refrigerator. You take it, put it on a hob or any cooking device. You could use the starter hobs, regular hob, safety hob, danger hob, microwave oven, and even the heated mixer. I don't recommend the heated mixer because it is slow, but you can use it because it does count as a cooking surface. If you're using something like a danger hob or the oven, you need to be very careful because hot dogs cook incredibly fast. Incredibly fast. The only way I would use a danger hob is if I would have some sort of automation automatically pulling the hot dogs off, or automatically using a combiner, combining the bun onto the hob, which stops it from cooking / burning. But it's pretty straightforward. The only card you get with hot dogs is the mustard card. Customers can request mustard when eating hot dogs. It's a 15% reduction. It gives you 3 bottles. It works the same way as the ketchup does. You place the hot dog plate on the table. They will then request mustard or ketchup. And you have to put it on the table, and then you have to pick the mustard back up before you can remove the dirty dishes. So it's the simplest. Hot dogs is the simplest one of the simplest dishes to cook. It's very quick, but you have to deal with the ketchup at least, and potentially the mustard, of putting it on the table, picking it back up. Now, the tip with using ketchup and mustard is if you have a conveyor belt or a grabber or a smart grabber, it does not matter, parallel to a table, not facing in or pulling from, but parallel to a table, and you put a bottle of ketchup on it, say in the beginning of the day, any table on either side of that, if they request ketchup, they will automatically pull the ketchup from the conveyor belt or the grabber or smart grabber, pull it from the belt to apply it to their hot dogs. And you don't have to pick it up and you don't have to pick the ketchup bottle up or put it down at all. Now, if you have mustard, how you will have that set up is you have 2 conveyor belts, one in front of the other one. You put mustard on one, you put ketchup on the other. Again, doesn't matter how they're configured. If a table is next to it and they request it, now the only caveat with that is that you need to have a double table so they can hit the conveyor belt with the mustard or the ketchup. Whatever one is not touching the table, you have to have the belt touching the table in order for them to take it off automatically. But it's still very, very simple. And you can even get to the point to where if you're using grabbers and you get multiple ketchup and mustard bins, you could have one in between 2 tables and have a grabber pulling the mustard by itself onto the conveyor belt. Or I say conveyor belts, but I mean grabbers and smart grabber. I use them interchangeably unless there's a specific reason to use one or the other. But you're pulling it onto the belt, and you don't have to touch it at all for the whole run, for the whole day. So again, that's the tip with using hot dogs and hamburgers. Or using mustard and ketchup, Now, hot dogs are very easy to automate. I have a tutorial on how to automate hamburgers. The tutorial for the hot dogs is exactly the same, because you have a piece of meat coming from a meat refrigerator. You have a bun or a roll of sorts. The way of doing it is exactly the same. If you're using combiners, if you're using a plate, an auto plater or a combiner with plate, you can actually automate plating it as well, sending it on its way on another conveyor belt or something. But if you search my channel for auto burgers or automation burgers, the hot dogs is exactly the same way. It's just using hot dogs versus the hamburgers. I want to thank you guys for watching. In the next video, we're going to be going over another food card, what it means, how to do it, and tips and tricks. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for another PlateUp Learning the Basics food card tutorial.